Well, hello folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you, and let's get right on into it. All right, let's pull up the screen here. Ah, yes, Lucid. There's a lot going on with Lucid, and we've actually got a very important date coming up. We're going to talk about the Saudi public fund, which their lockup expiration is January 19th. And is there a dip coming, and is this a buying opportunity for Lucid? So let's get into all things Lucid. All right, as it states here, Lucid has got a big day coming up, and this is January 19th. It says the lockup expiration date for existing shareholders of Lucid will expire according to the SEC, and that's the legacy shareholders, and that's about 1.19 billion shares of the 1.6 that are out there, and a big chunk of that is the Saudi public fund. As you can see, they own 67.2% of Lucid, and they had given them $1 billion back in the day to get them rolling. And most people don't think they're going to have a huge sale because they want to hold on to it. It's sort of, you got to realize they see that oil's kind of at some point going to go down. So this is their hedge. They buy an electric company, 67% of it, and they're like, well, let's at least have some sort of hedge against oil going down by buying the one thing that actually is going to cause it, which is electric vehicles. So it's a pretty good hedge and smart on their part. And as you can see, like I say, at 67%, I think they'll sell some. I don't think they'll sell a ton of it because they're going to make a huge profit and they can just plop that into the fund. And who knows, they may sell it, and then if it dips, they may come back and buy some. And if you look at the stock itself, the reason I think this is going to be a pretty good catalyst, if you'll remember back on this date, and this was, let's see, it was back September 1st, they had the first time where the insiders could sell some of them, and you can see it dropped all the way down to $17.60, and then it worked its way back up. And I've been buying this thing for a long time. I started buying it at, back when it was, what was it, CCIV, I started buying it $12 on the rumors that this SPAC was going to combine with Lucid and become one company. And I bought all the way up until about $20. I wish I had sold some right here when it got all the way up to the high 50s, but I didn't. And I held on, and I did learn from that mistake. And so I held all the way through here, and then I bought a bunch at $22, and I put it in my Roth IRA. And then I later sold it when it ran up because when they launched the vehicle, I was expecting that to be a catalyst, and it was. And they also got Motor Trend's Car of the Year award, which was even better. And I sold at $38. I bought at 22, which was right in this area. And I sold at 38. And then the dadgum thing ran all the way up to $54. So, you know, the thing is about swing trading, if you can get a 70% return, you should probably just take it. Granted, I missed out on over 100% return, well over, but that's the way the things go. But when you're swing trading, sometimes you got to just go ahead and take the profit and do this.
Don't care how, I want it now.
That's right. You got to just go ahead and take it now. But anyway, I think there's going to be another opportunity, and I'm going to tell you what I'm planning on doing. My thinking is I've got a bunch sitting on the sidelines waiting to reinvest that I sold in my Roth, and I've kind of had it sitting there waiting for a dip, and I've missed a couple opportunities, but I just wasn't that confident of it. But with this PIF situation coming up and them being released to be able to sell some, we might see a pretty good dip. And my understanding is there's some pretty high short interest going on with it right now, and we may see this thing dip on down. Now, we do have support right here at the $36, and actually, let me draw in some other support here. As you can see right here, we've got some support at $37, and it's hit that multiple times. If it drops below that, we're looking at 35, and then after that, we're probably looking in the low 30s, probably right here, I would think around $31. I'm going to be looking to pick some up right in this area. I think it'll dip probably down into the 30s, maybe down into here, and I'm just going to be watching it closely. I'm not going to rush it. You know, we'll see what happens. I might even sell some of my long-term holding right here and then re-pick it up down in here if this happens. I don't know. I'm just kind of trying to decide, but that's my thought process right now. And one of the things that I really like about Lucid is this gentleman right here, and this is Peter Rawlinson, and he worked for Tesla and was a lead engineer on their Model S and actually helped them get it rolling, and was a very important person involved in that. And he and Elon obviously worked pretty close together, and Elon was not happy when he left to start his own company, which is understandable. And Elon, if he didn't think he was a valuable employee, he wouldn't have cared if he left. As a matter of fact, he would have shooed him right out the door. Elon doesn't suffer mediocrity very well. Peter Rawlinson, if you know his history, he was a senior engineer at Lotus, and he also was a senior engineer at Jaguar.
I'm also the spokesperson for Jaguar, the finest motor car in the world.
That's right. So Peter Rawlinson's been around for a long time, and he's obviously done a really good job with the Lucid Air, and they don't hand out those awards at Motor Trend lightly. So to win that right off the bat with the Lucid Air is pretty remarkable. And we also know, about the great range on this battery. And you got to remember also, Lucid started out as a battery company. So their batteries are super high tech and really top of the line. So I'm going to be watching Lucid very carefully over the next couple of days. And I plan on making some moves. And like I say, I've got that money sitting in my Roth, ready to do a swing trade for Lucid again. And I'm going to try to have another 50 to 70% swing. We'll see if that happens. That would be fortunate to do that twice with this stock, but history has a tendency to repeat itself in the stock market. So there's nothing wrong with going back for a second whack at this thing. And if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Lets me know to continue to cover Lucid. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Give the channel a chance. I'd certainly appreciate it. And I'm definitely a long-term Lucid bull. I really like this company a lot, and looking forward to seeing what happens to it in the future. And I hope you did like the content, and we'll see you next time on Mr. Frugal Investor.